Hello, Aries, my loves. Welcome to Pretty Baby Tarot. My name is Antoinette. Let's see what comes out for you today. Okay, all will be read in the upright, by the way. So let's see what comes out for you, Aries. For some of you, you're in a marriage and you learn some kind of knowledge. For some of you, you are realizing that you want to marry someone. Some of you who are married, you're realizing you married someone that is just like your mother. For some of you, you're realizing that your marriage is just like your parents' marriage. Yeah, okay. 2 more Aries. Aries. Tell me about these vows for Aries. Some of you are realizing, like, your parents' marriage was held together because of money. That's what I'm getting. Or some of you are realizing, like, you are in a marriage that, you know, you're only staying because of money. Yeah, exactly. Some of you are realizing, like, you are, if you have commitment issues, it's because maybe your father didn't have, wasn't very committed to your mother. And some of you are just realizing, like, you married someone that is just like your mother, or you're realizing, okay, I just heard princes when doves cry. The part that I heard was, maybe I'm just like my mother. She's never satisfied. Maybe I'm just like my father. So it's like, if you have commitment issues, it's because your father had them. Yeah, ships. It's like you're continuing the cycle. You're realizing, whatever, if you're in a dead end marriage, it's like you're realizing it's time to end it. Yeah, spouse at the bottom of the deck. Some of you are realizing, if you have commitment issues, like, that needs to end. You're realizing if you're holding on to a marriage, that needs to end as well because it's unhealthy. There's no growth there. You're realizing, if you're married, you're realizing it's like a repeat of your parents' marriage. Mother. So you may have, like I said, married, if your mother stayed with your dad for finances, you're realizing you're repeating the behavior. If you were unfaithful or non-committal, you're realizing, I just heard just like my father. So you're realizing, some things really have to change. Things that you witnessed growing up are having a major effect on your life. Maybe even your finances. Some of you, if you have a father that's passed away, you may be having dreams, or they may be giving you, messages, or you may be realizing, like, you're going through the same battles that your father went through growing up, maybe with a mother figure. So if you're in a marriage, you're realizing you may be married, but you feel alone. So maybe this is something that your father went through too. So repeating cycles, I'm hearing. Yeah. Spouse. So if you're in a marriage, it's full of battles. If you are single, you're realizing you have commitment issues and it's due to your, you know, so if your parents had, were, wow, biblical in the reverse in ships, imprisonment, slavery. So it's like, if you're single, you're realizing you have commitment issues because you witnessed a lot of, you know, really toxic marriages is what I'm hearing growing up. So you're realizing like why you have a fear of commitment, which is good because that's a cycle that you want to break. Unhealthy, you know, unrequited love. So I feel like you witnessed a lot of, you know, toxic relationships growing up, and that's why you have the fear of committing. So you're acknowledging why you have a fear of commitment, you know, which is good. You know, and if you're single, you're realizing like you focus too much on work, and that's why you don't have, you know, a healthy relationship, which maybe you use work to, I heard, like, overcompensate. So maybe you work so that you don't have time for a marriage. Yeah, love life at the bottom of the deck. But I feel like you do want companionship, but you're realizing like you can't, I'm hearing, have your cake and eat it too. Yeah. So maybe you have unhealthy dating patterns. Maybe you're ready to settle down and you're realizing, you know, what you need to heal within yourself in order to do just that. All right, Aries. This is a short read. I'm just doing like healing messages. If it resonates, it resonates, my love. So some of you need to forgive your father. So if your father stayed in a really unhealthy relationship, you need to forgive him and realize like things for what they were instead of what you wanted them to be, is from what I'm hearing. And that'll be how you know, get out of your toxic marriage, or right, is it chicken spirit confirming, or, you know, maybe forgive your father for maybe not being there, and maybe that's what has made you, you know, non-committal, or, you know, it's had a major effect on your life regardless, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, so if you witnessed, you know, a father who stayed in a marriage because of money, you need to forgive them, because that's something, you know, if you're married, that's something you're dealing with currently, and that has to end. If you witnessed your father, you know, not being around, that needs to, so maybe you don't see your children as much as you feel you should. If you've, you know, stayed out of going towards commitment, you're realizing it's not healthy, you know. I feel like you are in your emotions when it comes to, so if you're single and you haven't been able to commit, it's like you're realizing it's not healthy for you either. So maybe this is something your father did. Maybe your father looked at marriage as like, maybe, you know, like prison. So maybe that's why. Maybe you overcompensate in work because maybe you were poor growing up and that's something, you know, you struggled with. So now you like overwork yourself, but you're realizing that's causing turmoil in your life as well. Can I get, yeah, so I feel like some of you, you know, if you've struggled with commitment issues, you're ready to settle down. Yes, we have spouse at the bottom of the deck. You know, communal living. So it's like you're no longer afraid. And if you, you know, had a father figure that, you know, was in and out, it's like you need to forgive them for that too. because that's keeping you from healing as well. You know, the whole thing is to learn from our parents' mistakes, not repeat them. I get 2 more. Yeah. Aries. Any last cards for Aries, Holy Spirit? Yeah. Wisdom, persecution, and inquisition. It's learn from our parents' mistakes. Grow from them. Yeah, High Priestess is the bottom of the deck. It's like, you know, forgive the people who showed us unhealthy things growing up. You know, forgive their mistakes. Forgive your mistakes. Everything is a lesson and blessing. The good and the bad. Not to repeat the behaviors, but to grow from them. Yeah. Balance. We witness unhealthy relationships growing up, you know, so if you witnessed, you know, an unhealthy relationship based on finances, that's a cycle you need to break. You know, all these cycles, I just seen 111, are put in our lives so that we can witness them and not repeat them, but of course, none of us do that. But you're on it. You're working towards it. You're realizing unhealthy behaviors within yourself instead of focusing outward. And that's where the healing is. All right, Aries, this has been your read. If it resonates, it resonates. If it don't, it don't. My loves, have a great night.